We unpack. We unpack. We unpack. Coming to you live. Boxingego unpack. Yeah. We unpack. We unpack. We unpack. Coming to you live. Errol Spence Trnr Derrick James says that Terence Crawford has an uneducated approach to the business of boxing, meaning he believes things that really aren't true. That's what I want to talk about in this video. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I am back with some more boxing. Now, Derrick James did an interview with Brian Custer, and he says, quote, "To be on this level and not fight on a true pay-per-view fight card and to not really understand the business aspect of it, I think that to build a fight is what makes the fight." So Derrick James is already, dishing in and saying that Crawford doesn't quite get it, going to BLK Prime, being with, new partners to the world of boxing, and then try to put on a pay-per-view, because part of it is actually building up the fight. Like, just think about going to a restaurant. If you go to a restaurant and you're about to eat some bomb food, loaded baked potato, asparagus, and a steak medium rare, and that's the main course, you might want some spinach artichoke dip or something else, some bread they give you, things like that, as a precursor or an appetizer to the actual meal. And then you just enjoy the whole, full course meal. So I agree with Derrick James. And Terence Crawford, even if he wanted to take a tune-up, which, that has its own, people are going to feel their own way about it. But even if that was the case and that's what he wanted, why not take a tune-up on PBC like Demetrius Andrade is doing? Andrade just signed with PBC, or he has a pact or whatever, and he's going to be on the card this weekend with Gervonta Davis. And Andrade has had a similar career to Terence Crawford in terms of great fighter, can fight southpaw, is a southpaw, whatever, and has been mismanaged, and the skills hasn't amassed and matched the resume. But at least Andrade is getting it now to get the David Morrell fights, the Caleb Plant, David Benavidez winners, take a tune-up on the network, on a big card, and build up and then go after it. But Crawford, he decided something completely different. Derrick James continues by saying, quote, "So what happens when you see him take this other fight, the David Avanesian fight, right?" He says, when you see him take this other fight and not build the fight, he gets what he wants, but the promoter as a whole, they don't get what they want. You don't put up millions of dollars to lose millions of dollars. I think that's the part of life he truly didn't understand as a fighter, not as a businessman. If you see in his uneducated perspective of what he thought boxing is, he got the fight, but he was the only winner, not the promoter. Now, ironically enough, this is exactly what I said. Derrick James concluded, at the same time, I think that if he were to go into negotiation now with those Avanesian numbers, you have no leg to stand on. Yesterday's fight is not today's fight. Yesterday was an assumption. Today is a fact. You can't come up to my face talking this and that. That's what you're doing. I think it was something unnecessary for him. You can go through life thinking you are something in particular, and that's cool because you believe it's who you are for yourself, right? But when someone tells you, no, your pay-per-view buys, whatever the number was, I don't really know what they are, that's who you are now. So you can't talk about, no, I'm a reference who you are. You can't hide behind the machine of ESPN and Bob Arum. Crawford is by himself, and now he's totally something different. And he also said he doesn't know if the fight happens with Crawford's move. Now, a lot of you maniacs, when I was making my videos, there was a couple people, a lot of people get it. When I speak, they listen and they understand and comprehend what I'm saying. But there were a couple maniacs, and they were saying, oh, but it's just a tune-up, and he wanted to fight this year, and want. But I don't see it that way, and I never did, and that's what I said. And now Derrick James is saying exactly verbatim what I've been telling you. Crawford may have actually hurt his brand, which I do think he did, looking at how the event, I mean, just look at it. Was the event a success? Was it an instant classic? Were there any surprises? Did anyone win other than Crawford, right? In terms of if he did get the $10 million and stuff. And that's kind of what Derrick James is saying. Like, that's not business. That's not a good business move to have a company splurge on you, not promote the fight, not pick a better opponent, and for them to lose a ton of money, and you think, oh, it worked out for me, so I don't care. I mean, imagine an actor. Like, if an actor goes and does a Marvel movie and he's like, oh, I got paid good, I don't care if it flop. Well, you should care if it flops, because if the Marvel movie flops, then maybe they don't do a sequel for it. You know, people look at your last, endeavor as an actor and they say, hey, that movie was trash, and now future offers might look different. This is exactly what Derrick James and myself have been telling you. So Crawford, he could have shot himself in the foot. Now, the other reason I say this is from what I've experienced in seeing Crawford and his lack of business acumen. So with his lack of business acumen, if you felt disrespected with the offer before, and then you go and do your own thing because you're your own boss, and then you try to come back to the table with worse numbers than you've ever had and a worse event than you've ever had with Top Rank, like Derrick James is saying, like Boxingego is saying, you can't hide behind that machine anymore. You don't have ESPN, a big company, backing you, and you don't have Top Rank and Bob Arum, who's been in the business since the 60s, 70s, backing you. So you're on your own. And the event was a travesty. You did worse than Sean Porter. That's backtracking. You're not supposed to, every year you're supposed to do better than you did the previous year. Like, what is a man who is 35 years old and his maturity level has regressed from when he was 21? He was more mature, and his his finances were better when he was 21 as opposed to 35. Then that's a man who got some real life issues, because you're regressing and you're supposed to be going forward. So the Sean Porter fight was a better fight. It was a more competitive fight. It was on pay-per-view. It did better numbers. The presentation was better. The promotion was better, right, than the BOK Prime situation. That's just facts. So what Derrick James is saying, what Boxingego is saying is true. And if you felt disrespected with the offer coming off the Sean Porter fight, now Derrick James is telling you, these are your numbers. Everybody knows that it flopped. Everybody knows. I mean, then you have the whole Glovegate fiasco where his gloves exploded or whatever the situation is. And that's the energy and momentum that you carry. It's all about, write that down. It's all about momentum. And this is the momentum. And this is what I forecasted. I already knew this was going to be a bust. This is a company that was doing street brawls and street beefs with, One Eye Willie and Scarface and Pitbull. And then they're trying to establish themselves as a creme de la creme type of player. And it doesn't happen overnight. So Crawford, he has stagnated his own brand. And I hear no one talking about the Avanesian fight. I hear no one really ranking Crawford higher for that performance. It was a nice knockout, but at the same time, it was also expected. I mean, how much credit would you give if that, it's like Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant are playing against middle schoolers. I mean, you would expect them to they're in the NBA. You would expect them to beat some middle schoolers. How much credit would you even get for that? And I've seen this a mile away, and Derrick James is really just corroborating everything that I've said. This just didn't do Crawford any favors. And now when you try to go back to the negotiating table, PBC might lessen the offer or say, like, hey, when you're on your own with BOK Prime and you're your own boss, you really can't sell. You need us. So since you need us, the deal is worse now. Instead of us giving you 35%, maybe that's 30%, right? That's the facts. That's how business works. So at least if you're going to go AWOL and detour and go a different direction, make a power move. It's not what Crawford did. And I'm up. A lot of people ask me what I use to create content. Things like YouTube thumbnails that generate thousands of views. For the first time ever, the cat is out of the bag. I use Canva Pro. But Canva Pro is so much more than a YouTube thumbnail maker. Use Canva Pro to curate content for YouTube, TikTok, Instagram Reels, Instagram Stories, and a whole lot more. Flyers, flowcharts, you name it, with Canva Pro. Click the affiliate link in the description to get Canva Pro. Many features, elements available to you. Take your brand to the next level. Invest in yourself. It takes money to make money. So sign up for Canva Pro today. Happy creations. Introducing Super Thanks. Right here on the official Boxingego YouTube. Super Thanks allows you, the viewers, to show a little bit of extra gratitude, which enables me as a full-time content creator to push out the content you need in the world of boxing. Underneath all the videos, you will see a heart with the $sign in it. You can enter any amount that you find suitable as a super thanks. A brand new, interactive, and colorful way to get your comments highlighted and noticed by not only myself, but other people on the YouTube platform. Super thanks, a unique and cool way to show and applaud us full-time content creators. Hopefully you guys enjoy the content. Super thanks. The future is now. The Hibernation 5s by Kenichi Bear. Hybrid gaming and lifestyle headphones. Out of the box, you can connect to any console or PC. Bluetooth ready with a low latency USB adapter, color RGB, and extreme bass mode. The Hibernation 5s adjust to you. Whether you need a gaming, travel, gym, or lifestyle headphones, the Hibernations got you covered. The new Hibernation 5s, link in the description. Customize the way you hear the world. Welcome to the nation. Are you tired of your YouTube videos not getting any views? Well, consider TubeBuddy. I've used TubeBuddy for years to scale up my YouTube channel. Now we're sitting over 200,000 subscribers. TubeBuddy is a browser extension that offers a ton of built-in productivity and time-saving services to take your channel to the next level. Use my link in the description to get started with TubeBuddy and level up your channel faster. We working.